Who will win the Champions League this season? I'm looking at all the favourites, including all the big sides from England. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe as well. We're starting off with Arsenal. They did so well last season. Obviously beat Real Madrid, which is a massive achievement for them because Arsenal haven't always had the mentality in the Champions League. And you feel that Mikel Arteta, in a slow kind of way, is building mentality at Arsenal. Now, a lot of his critics would say it's not fast enough and Liverpool shouldn't have won the Premier League title last season. It should have been Arsenal, and Arsenal should have beaten PSG and had big chances to beat PSG. They didn't quite get over the line. And whatever you say about that, at least the season before last, Arsenal didn't get to the Champions League semi-final. So Mikel Arteta is gaining incremental improvements out of this Arsenal side. So you could say that Arsenal look set to get deep into the Champions League. Could they get to the final? Arteta always improves on this Arsenal side. They got the back line to do it. I think even if Saliba and Gabriel got injured, they got a far better back line in reserve than the likes of Manchester City. Honestly, and even Liverpool. But when they're all fit, you're talking about Saliba, Timber, Gabriel, David Raya, Lewis Skelly, Calafiori. Mascara's been outstanding. So from that kind of principle, with Zubimendi and Declan Rice ahead of them, they got a very, very good foundation. Then you can play Eze anywhere across the front three and Saka together if they're both fit. And then Madueke and Gyökeres, who bangs goals in the Champions League. I feel that Arsenal are going to go very, very far. They've got a very, very good chance of winning the Champions League. Let's be completely real. I think what I'll do at the end of the video is actually say who I think will win the Champions League. But I'm a massive, massive proponent of Arsenal doing well this season. Manchester City, this is a difficult one because it's a young side. It's a side in transition. But dare I say, is Guardiola building this Manchester City side to be a cup team, a Champions League winning side? I think he's realised he's not going to have the luxury of Ederson, who's this kind of philosophical goalkeeper for Guardiola, who can play with his feet to the same level that most defenders can. It's outstanding what Ederson provided for the last 7 or 8 years. You're not going to get that anymore. So let's go back to simple, high-level goalkeeping. Donnarumma was the best keeper in the Champions League last season. Single-handedly stopped Aston Villa causing an upset. Arsenal causing an upset, particularly in France as well. The save from Odegaard in Paris was world-class. Haaland down the middle. I mean, Haaland's record it's scary. 49 Champions League goals in 48 games. So you're saying, can Guardiola, a bit like, it reminds me of Ancelotti a little bit, when Ancelotti used to just play the best players in their position and let them fly. Zidane did something very, very similar as well. Let these guys go. You don't need to be too philosophical. Get Phil Foden in nice positions. Get Rodri in his normal position. And just play 2 centre-backs, play your full-backs, and just have a go. Haaland down the middle. Donnarumma in the sticks. I think City could be dark horses to win the Champions League this season. I honestly do. There's so much experience in that side, and there's still a lot of quality goals and a top-level goalkeeper as well. Barcelona, I have to talk about them because they were my favourite side in the Champions League last season. Now, PSG were exquisite as well, don't get me wrong. But how exciting and how fun Barcelona were. I firmly believe Lamine Yamal is the best footballer on the planet. I know Dembele just won a treble. I just know, Vitinha, Hakimi were sensational, Doué. But for me, Lamine Yamal is the best footballer on the planet. So that is one thing that's going for Barcelona as well. They play free-flowing football. They're going to score lots of goals. They got close last season, just like Arsenal. And I feel that Barcelona have got a great chance of winning it as well. We have to talk about PSG, who were absolutely staggeringly good last season. The first French side to ever win the Champions League, except for Marseille. Only 2 sides have ever done it, the first in 30 years. You have to say, though, despite the fact of the midfield's brilliance, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes could still kick on to a whole different level. They're that good. They really, really are. Chevalier, I'm not entirely sure about him. I've not seen loads of him. Is he better than Donnarumma? No, he's definitely not right now. He might be. He's certainly better with his feet. Of course he is. But I do feel that PSG, they got around Donnarumma's issues with his feet. So obviously Luis Enrique wants to develop. He obviously wants to build his side to be better progressively out from the back. But in a cup game, in a one-off moment away from home at Villa Park like last season, let's say it was St. James's Park this season in a quarter-final, let's just say, I actually think they're worse for these kind of games, and that would be a big, big concern for me. But you always have to back Luis Enrique, who is the second best manager in world football behind Pep Guardiola, and they're certainly an interesting proposition. Liverpool Football Club, I think they were so underwhelming against PSG. They really, really were, especially after a 1-0 Harvey Elliott win in Paris. They got absolutely counter-attacked by PSG and done really in a big, big way. My big concern for Liverpool isn't about Isak, isn't about Ekitike, whoever plays down the middle, Salah. Even though you want to see more from Salah in those kind of knockout games, he didn't show anything against PSG, got completely locked up by Nuno Mendes. For me, it'll be always the midfield for Liverpool. How do they win the ball back? Where's their Kante? Where's their Casemiro? Where's their Rodri? Now, Gravenberch and McAllister are some of the best midfielders in Europe. I think some of them will probably start for PSG. They probably start for Barcelona and all the clubs that I've just mentioned. They are outstanding. I mean, Gravenberch is doing things on the pitch that are scary good. They still don't have that ball winner. They still have little moments of defensive frailty where players can get in behind their midfield, make their centre-backs, right-back look vulnerable. I still think there's a slight concern there. Kerkez is young. Frimpong has just come in. So for me, despite the fact that Virgil van Dijk is single-handedly getting unbelievable defensive performances out of the back line for Liverpool, he has done for many, many years. I feel that if Liverpool played PSG, if they played Barcelona, if they played anyone else in the Champions League semi-final, they still may have issues in midfield in terms of winning the ball back and ultimately getting counter-attacked, and that could be a big issue. I still feel they need to figure out their midfield situation. It's all well and good saying Florian Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike. You can't play 4-2-4 against PSG in the Champions League semi-final. For me, that's the big concern. If it all clicks, though, they could blow everyone out of the water before it's even a debate. I mean, Isak, he'll be looking to bang this season in the Champions League. Isak, Ekitike, Salah, it's absolutely outrageous. A couple more sides, and then I'll come to my conclusion. No bias. Real Madrid. We're looking at a guy who scored 35 goals in 38 games for Real Madrid in Kylian Mbappe. A guy that I've said is a little bit overrated by football fans, but he's slowly and surely growing into that role at Real Madrid. It's a matter of time before they get back to high levels in the Champions League. I think they're allowed one season off because the season before they're winning the Champions League. They had one season off. They got battered by some great free kicks from Declan Rice. Let's be completely real. Apart from that, they beat Manchester City. They didn't have a great league campaign. Arda Güler's playing a lot of football. Vinicius is still in there. He's in kind of Ballon d'Or contention only a couple of years ago. You got Dean Huijsen, who's a fantastic player. Bellingham. They've got so much quality and abundance. I know Trent's not playing football, but he's still in there as well. Carvajal's come back. You'd be a moron to not think Real Madrid could have a great chance of winning this season as well with Xabi Alonso, who is one of my favourite managers in European football. I'm so excited to see what he can do at Real Madrid. But ultimately, I put Real Madrid ahead of a few clubs that I've said already in this video. Outsiders, just very, very quickly, but let me know your comments down below. Ultimately, Bayern Munich, they got one of the best front lines in world football. Luis Diaz on one side, Michael Olise on the other, Harry Kane down the middle. That will always be unbelievable. I still see defensive frailties, and I still think that maybe Company doesn't have the squad to compete in the same way. Could Napoli do something this season? Kevin De Bruyne, Scott McTominay. Can't believe I'm saying that in the same sentence, but you feel that one of these Conte sides is due a run in the Champions League. He's not the greatest in Europe, really, and ultimately, Napoli are a great, great team. I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League, but could you see De Bruyne in little moments just do unbelievable things, have a bit of a renaissance, guide Napoli far into the Champions League? I'm going to throw one more in there because I'm a massive Eddie Howe fan. Newcastle United. They got a great forward line. They got great midfielders in Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes. A decent back line at this level. I have to say it. I still think it's a really solid back line. Livramento's basically England international. I feel that Newcastle United could shock a lot of size in the Champions League, particularly with St. James's Park. It is a fortress when it wants to be 100%. Who's going to win the Champions League? I'm going to be simple. It's going to be PSG. They're going to retain it. They've got so much quality. I think they can adapt. They can completely change their setup. If it's from England, if an English side had to win it, I'm going Manchester City ahead of Liverpool. I still think that Rodri, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez is a great midfield that can be that kind of ball-winning midfield that I don't quite see Liverpool having. I know it's crazy because Liverpool should be looking to win multiple honours this season. I think they're going to win the Premier League, Liverpool. I'm not entirely sure about the Champions League. It would concern me if Liverpool matched a big side in the quarterfinals, how they compete. What if it's Liverpool PSG early in the quarterfinals? What if it's Liverpool Real Madrid early in the quarterfinals? It's not a foregone conclusion they blow these sides away. That's my honest opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Champions League preview. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon.